Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 7 of Wicked Wednesday here in Fortune Racing League. I am It's Chocolate, and we are just getting underway here for qualifying here at the Jeddah Corniche International Circuit. 18 minutes on the clock here in Q1. A few drivers already heading out on track. There is rain expected in this session, at least at some point in the qualifying. So whether that's going to come in Q1 or whether we're going to have to wait until the later sessions, we do not know yet. But this first session could be affected by some rain later on, could affect the drivers' run plans. Yeah, going to be an interesting one. I think we might see some drivers try and get all their runs in the first 10 or so minutes. Just in case we do see some rain coming in the second half of the session. So here we are now out on the track. Let me just get that up. First driver out on track is Gibbo on a set of soft compound tyres. I expect everybody's going to be on softs right now. With the rain coming, don't want to be using up too many intermediates, especially in the dry conditions. You'll put a lot of wear on them and lose a lot of time. So there's the tyres for all the drivers. Soft compound tyres for everybody. So here we come now through turn 27 with the AlphaTauri driver currently second in the championship. Tyrant currently out in front by quite a decent margin. He still can theoretically lose it, but we have a very close fight for P2, 3 and 4 between Jack, Finkett and... Oh, what's happened now? Am I saying the wrong names? Why does my game say Ramos and an AlphaTauri, and where's Gibbo gone? Oh, there we go. Just a visual bug. I got a bit confused there for a second. Not sure what was going on there. Anyway, down towards turn 13 now. A 33-1 in the first sector for the AlphaTauri driver. Crossfrog in the Alpine doing a 33-0. He's going slightly faster. A few drivers just making their way around right now. Coming down the back straight. Let's see what Gibbo can do into the fast chicane of 22 and 23. DRS open again. One more braking zone left in the lap. And then we'll get the first time on the table. Through turn 27 and up towards the start-finish line. The Alfa Romeo, they're just making their way back into the pit lane. That was Finkett's. Gibbo goes fastest with the 29.2. Next car to the line is going to be Crossfrog, but he's invalidated his lap. He's not improving. So let's go to, is it Cube Tom or William Talbot? There we go, Cube Tom coming around the final corner up towards the start finish line. Fastest lap currently at 29.2. What can he do in the Williams? Probably not going to be helping him through the first sector, but with the long straights, Cube Tom a 28.2 goes fastest by a second. Ramo with a 29.0 goes second fastest in the Aston Martin. Next to the line is going to be Angry Dave, and he sets a 32.5. The slowest time so far. Basic sets a 28.8 in the Ferrari, second fastest for him. Justerini at 29.2 up to P5. And then we have William Talbot in the Williams. Can he match the pace of Cube Tom? No, he can't. Only a 29.7. And then we will have Jack, currently I think in P3 in the standings. And he's gone fastest with a 27.9 in the Alfa Romeo. Nice lap from him. And he is 3/10 clear out in front. BPA coming down the back straight now towards the final corner. Let's see what pace he has. P8 for him, a 29.7, just half a tenth behind William Talbot. And then we also have one of the Red Bulls starting a lap there. Tyrant, I think, starting a lap as well. A few drivers starting laps now. Crossfrog on his second attempt has kept it within the white lines and goes 5th fastest. A 29.2 for him. A hundredth, sorry, in front of Gibbo. And Tyrant just starting his lap now. He did a second out lap. It seems maybe a mistake for him early on. And he went for another attempt. Lots of traffic in the final sector. Hopefully nobody is on a push lap back there. Remix and Remy Kaikkonen, the two drivers on laps currently. Both of them coming through the middle sector here. So down towards turn 22, looking at the sector times, doesn't look too bad, at least compared to the purple asteroid. Never mind, that's not a real sector. Software's lying to me. Through the final corner, Remix on the power. Let's see what he can do with his Red Bull. Can he get himself into the top 10 here? Up to the line. It's P3 for Remix. Nice lap from him, 1:28.8. Remy Kaikkonen in the Ferrari, only 11th fastest. I think he's going to be at risk. Sat down there. Oh, and we have a spinner, I think. Or are you on our lap? Not sure what's happened. I saw yellow flags. I think it's going slowly there. Maybe just preparing for a second lap. Justerini retiring in P8. He's in the pit lane. He feels he's safely through to the next session with that time. Going to be an interesting one to watch. So, quite a few drivers on laps currently. The first of which I believe is Micromash. Some of the others, I think Gibbo might be on a lap as well. He's currently in P5. Yellow flags, that is just a current in lap, I believe. Let's have a look at Gibbo then. He's 11 seconds down. He is not pushing. Let's go back to Micromash. On his first attempt at the lap. Keeps Tom in P2 retiring. He feels he's safely through. And there's rain falling here in Jeddah. The rain is falling. This is going to be a problem for those down at the bottom. Tyrant Finkits, Micromash Asteroid and Max Tomberg. Two drivers will be eliminated from this session and the rain is falling. The grip is going to be dropping. Who can get the lap in? First one of them to cross the line is going to be Micromash, followed by Max Tomberg. But some of them only in the first sector. I think that's Tyrant. Micromash up to P6. Basics retired in P15. That's a risky spot. Oh, he's crashed. Basic has had a crash in the first sector. So he will be out of this. He won't make it through to Q2. I expect he'll start down in P15. Max Tomberg only manages P12. Risky position from him. Tyrant and Angry Dave are both on outlaps currently. And the rain is falling. Tyrant on a 37. That's not going to be enough to make it through. I think he could probably go faster than that on an intermediate. So, yeah, not ideal. Finkits coming around to finish a lap here. 8 seconds up through the first two and losing the rear out of the final corner. The grip is dropping. What can Finkits manage in these tricky conditions? Across the line, it's a 1:32.4 up to P14. Dropping Angry Dave and Tyrant down into that elimination zone. Angry Dave going slowly. He's aborted this lap. The rain falling. It's going to become very tricky for him to improve on that lap. So let's head over to Tyrant now. He's got to try and beat a 1 minute 32.5 here in these wet conditions. DRS has been disabled. That is a big blow for Tyrant. The championship leader will not have DRS on this lap. That's probably going to be costing him over a second. I think this is going to be a really tricky one if he wants to make it out of this Q1 session now. Down to turn 13, you can see how wet the track is now. Let's go on board with Tyrant. It's a bit better from the off-board shot, but you can see the standing water starting to form. And now coming down towards 22 and 23, Tyrant is second down, but I assume he lost the time in the final sector. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. He's into the wall, banging the walls with that AlphaTauri. Can he find the time in the final sector to get it out of Q1? Through the final corner, he's gone off deep. Tyrant doesn't have the time. Asteroid's been disqualified. Which pushes Angry Dave back into the Q2 region. Angry Dave will make it through after that disqualification from the Mercedes. And I think Tyrant's going to be out here. 5 minutes left on the clock, but I don't expect anybody's going to be finding the time. I'm not too sure who Jace Snowy is. Not too sure what's going on here, but yeah, 5 minutes left on the clock. The rain is falling. Tyrant is making his way back out onto the track on the intermediates. Going to be a bit of a tall order to try and beat a 1 minute 32.5 with intermediates. So now Tyrant Coming through the first sector. And he's way off the track. Tyrant cannot find the grip. He's trying to push as hard as he can, but there is no grip in these wet conditions. And I think it's going to be possession over. It's really hard to see how wet the track is here. It's a night race, and I guess the colour of the concrete doesn't really show the rain very well, but it is quite wet out there. And unfortunately, I think it is going to be qualifying over for Tyrant. I doubt he's going to be finding the pace in these conditions. And yeah, Tyrant coming back into the pit lane. So yeah, unfortunately, Tyrant unable to find the time. He is out in Q1 and has retired from the session. Unfortunate for the championship leader, he is going to have a long race ahead of him, fighting his way back through the field. He's going to have to try and not get caught up in incidents as well, because although he does have the lead in the championship right now, that could drop away if he has a crash and one of the others do well, which wouldn't be too surprising, given the pace of the likes of Jack and Gibbo and Finkits as well. Finkits just scraping through to Q2 as that rain started to fall. But yeah, it's definitely a good, interesting one. Tyrant starting down at the back could get caught up in some incidents, maybe the aftermath if somebody crashes in front of him. The Corniche being a street track, I think crashes are always quite likely here, and there isn't really much runoff anywhere to avoid anything. Sometimes you just get boxed in. So yeah, it's gonna be a risky one. At least for him starting at the back, but also those starting in the midfield, they're not gonna. I mean, Tyrant can take you cautious into turn one. Those in the middle of the pack, they can't really do that. So yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting one. So session is over. We just have to wait for this McLaren to complete a flying. Yeah, he complete this flying lap now. So coming to the final corner, turn 27. McLaren finally making his way up towards the start-finish line, and this is qualifying over. He will not improve enough anyway to make it out of this qualifying session. So that is Q1 done. The rain did come about halfway through. There is your qualifying results from Q1 at least. Jack fastest, Cube Tom in P2 before the rain starts to fall. Are we going to see any differences in the second half of qualifying now that we are on the intermediate tyres? Unfortunately, from this qualifying session, we are losing Basic after he crashed out in the first sector. The tricky wet conditions getting the better of him. He lost the rear and was off into the barriers. Tyrant as well got impeded apparently while he was on a dry lap, and then it started raining, could not get a clean lap in the end, and Asteroid having a disqualification which pushed Angry Dave up into the Q2 positions. So yeah, 3 drivers being lost from this Q1 session. Gonna be an interesting race ahead of them for sure. At least I think 2 of those drivers gonna have some good pace. Gonna be interesting watching them fighting their way back through though. We now head over to Q2, where we have 14 drivers remaining. In just a second, there we have 14 drivers remaining, 15 minutes on the clock. The rain is falling here. Let's see what people are able to do. Let me just sort this quickly while we wait for drivers to make the route. I expect we're going to see a lot of drivers heading out early on here, while the track is at its best conditions. William Talbot, the first driver out onto the track, followed by the other Williams there. So Will coming through sector 1. Let's see what he's able to do on the intermediate compound tyres. Definitely going to be an interesting qualifying session now, though, as we head into these wet conditions. It's really going to show some driver skill as well, I think. Who can drive well in the wet. Could give somebody a slightly better qualifying position. Could catch somebody out. Maybe a bit of a mistake for one driver. End up in the barrier. And you could see them out in Q2, where you're expecting them to be fighting at the front. So Will just preparing to start his lap. I'll get the thing back up in a sec. Just sorting my telemetry out. Here we go now with the Williams coming towards turn number 27 of this track. And up towards the start finish line. No DRS now in the wet. So it's going to be purely down to straight line speed, ERS, and maybe some slipstream if anybody can pick one of those up. A little bit uneasy, I think, on the throttle there from Will. Seemed to go a little bit off of the line he was wanting. Yellow flags down at the final corner as drivers are preparing to start their laps. Will, the first one out, though, he should not have any traffic. We've got a couple of drivers quite close together, heading down that final straight. As the drivers fight over the track position through sector 1, it's a 37.3 first split for Will. Comparing that to the 32s of Q1 that we were seeing, it is quite a big drop off in pace. Yellow flags, there's been a crash, I think, in sector 1. No, we each have a couple drivers going slowly. Always a bit deceiving, the mini-map. See a bunch of yellow flags, see a bunch of drivers stopping together. Assume it's the worst, I guess. Anyway, Will now coming down towards turn 22. And let's see what he can do. The final car preparing to start his lap, apart from Rimi Kaikkonen, who has decided to stay in the pits early on in this session. He has opted to just wait a little bit longer. Micromash also another driver to wait. Or we have yellow flags. Who is that going to be? BPA has had a spin in sector 1. He's managed to get going. Here comes Will now to the line. And what time is it for him? It's a 1:38.9. So we're 10 seconds off of the times we saw in Q1. Whoops, keep pressing the wrong buttons. Next we're going to have the Red Bull of Remix coming to the line. And he sets a 1:37.9. Cube Tom, the next car to finish a lap. Can he beat that time if the Red Bull? Yes, he can. It's a 1:37.3 from him. Next is going to be Gibbo in the AlphaTauri. Up to the line now. A 1:39.3. Not the best lap so far that we've seen. Ramos is a 1:39.2. Jumps ahead of Gibbo. Max Tomberg, the next car, the Mercedes, to the line. Can he jump his way up the order at 1:54? It seems like a double outlap for him. Finkits, sorry, no, that's Jack, up to P2, a 1:37.8. Not the best lap from him, I don't think. And invalidation there for Max Tomberg. Next is the two Alpines. Micromash first to the line, followed by Crossrock. Micromash starting his lap and Crossrock into the pit lane. He won't finish that lap. Finkits to the line, goes fourth fastest to 1:38.8. Nice lap from him. Angry Dave will be the next one to finish lap at 1:42.3 for him. Slowest proper lap so far out of anyone. Not great. BPA invalidated on his lap. Next to the line is Justarini, who also invalidated. So it's going to be another go for him, I guess. Who do we have? I guess Micromash will be on a push lap right now. But it's another invalidation for him. So no time going to be set there. I expect we're going to see some more push laps from some of the other drivers. Maybe Jack didn't use the RS, or he's going for a second run. We'll have to wait and see if anybody else does improve in the second laps here. I think Cube Tom might still be pushing on as well as he makes his way down towards turn 27. Let's head over to him and see what he's up to. No, never mind. He's 8 seconds down. Yeah, it seems everybody has backed off then. Micromash invalidated. BPA coming through onto the back straight. And Justarini, BPA's teammate here, also just behind, coming down the straight. Might pick up a bit of a toe off of the Red Bull. Not sure which one that is. But he's quite close to the back of it now. Down towards 27. A few drivers staying out to go out for another lap, I think. BPA rounds the final corner. And up towards the line, a 1:39.6. Only P8 for him so far. 4 drivers still yet to set a lap. One of them, Justarini. Although, yeah, here he comes to the line now, and it's only 1:44. I think he might have been impeded by the Red Bull there. Unfortunately for him. Gibbo 3/10 up through sector 1, pushing on still. Let's see what he's able to do. He's also got Max Tomberg behind, who I expect is going to be on a fast lap now. Finally, Gibbo managing to just maintain that 3/10 margin there. So now through the final corner for the AlphaTauri. A little bit unstable on the exit there. I think had a little bit of a snap. But up to the line, a 1:38.7 for him, up to P4. Nice lap in the AlphaTauri. Max Tomberg has invalidated. And Finkits, I should assume. Oh, no, that's Jack, a 1:37.1 up to P1. Nice lap from him. I think he'll safely be through now. Crossrock starting a lap. Yeah, going to be an interesting one, I think. Crossrock, he's in an Alpine, so one of the faster cars here. But there's some faster drivers here as well, so yeah. His position is going to be quite interesting. Finkits jumps up a position ahead of Gibbo with a 1:38.0. And then we have the two Haas drivers. I expect we're going to see an improvement from Justarini. Not so sure about BPA. BPA, I think, coming into the pit lane. Justarini will take the line and sets a 1:39.8 up one position, 2/10 behind BPA in the same car. William Talbot just starting a lap as well. And I think Crossrock is the next driver, I think, on a push lap, who will make it to the line. We have more yellow flags. That's one of the Alfa Romeos. Just getting out of the way, I think. Down into turn 22 and 3. Crossrock still pushing on. Let's see what he can do. He's gone past his teammate now. Down to 27. into third or fourth gear. I think probably third right now. I would expect from him, and he's coming into the pit lane. Doesn't feel like the lap was good enough. Wants a new set of tyres. Right, so next cars to the line is Giustarini. Giustarini is still pushing half a second up through the first two. Almost 6/10 actually. What can he do in the final sector? Coming to the line, Giustarini finds half a second up in front of BPA now, a 1:39.3 from him. Not a bad lap. Next car to the line. Let's see, I think Micromash is going to be on a lap. A few other drivers as well. Max Tomberg just starting his lap. Remix is on a flying lap currently. Purple in the middle sector. Not sure what's going on here in Sector 1 between these cars. Anyway, who do we have? Max Tomberg going faster on this lap in the Mercedes. Can he get himself out of Q2 here? 3 minutes left on the clock. Oh, yellow flags. BPA. Another issue for him. He seems to be struggling a little bit. I think that's the second time we've seen him having a spin. Anyway, round the final corner. Up to the line goes P6. Max Tomberg should be safely into Q3 here. BPA now into the drop zone. Gonna be pressure on for him. Angry Dave, currently P12. Cannot find enough time to get out of that drop zone. Stays in P12. Crossfrog on a lap. I think this will be his one and only lap, unless he pushes on quite hard to try and get that second one in. But whether he'll have the battery and the tyres left as well to do so will be a different question. So through Sector 1 now. Remy Kaikkonen's also started a lap in the Ferrari. So we'll be able to see what his pace is like in the wet. Can he hook the lap together? Or is it going to be game over for him? William Talbot could be at risk here. Currently in P9, retired from the session. Expecting to be safely through. But could be at risk now. More yellow flags. As one of the Hasses, I think, just getting out the way. So 1 minute left on the clock now. The time is ticking down. I'm not sure which Haas Giustarini is. But those cars in that, I think BPA is the one that's just retired there. The one at the back. So they should be able to make it to the line. Here comes Crossfrog now through the final corner. This lap has to count for him. He's got to beat A 1 minute. He's got to get into the 38s here, I think. And across the line, it's the 38.982. Beats William Talbot's time by 0.005 of a second. Putting Will into the danger zone. BPA is out. And Dave is out as well. He won't be setting another lap. Remy Kaikkonen, what can he do? Can he knock William Talbot out of Q2 here as he comes up to the line? 10 seconds left on the clock. Everybody will make it to the line who wants to start a lap. It's only P12 for Remy Kaikkonen unless he has the RS to go again. I think that is going to be qualifying over. The only person who could overthrow him would be Giustarini, who is out on track now. Let's see what the Haas driver can do. He needs to find 3.5 tenths here if he wants to make it out of this session. And if he can do so, William Talbot is out of this session. He won't be making it to Q3. Let's see, through the first sector split, he's kept it within the track limits. That's the crucial thing. But has he found the time? Almost a tenth down. Not ideal. I think the rain getting a little bit heavier. Probably losing him a little bit of grip. But maybe time to find in the second half of this lap. Coming through the middle sector now. Into turn 14. Let's see. Next split is at the end of the straight. Little bit of a tap with the wall. Has he got any wing damage? Doesn't look like it. But maybe non-visible. He's a 10th up now. He's found 2 tenths through that middle sector. A 10th up, but he needs a really nice final sector if he wants to beat the time that Will has set. It's going to be quite challenging for him to find such a large amount of time in the final sector. A couple other drivers swapping positions at the upper half of the field, but this is the one we want to watch. Giustarini now through the final corner. Has he got a good enough run through that final sector to get into Q3 to the line? No, he hasn't. Misses out by a tenth of a second. Giustarini only manages a 39.1. William Talbot just hangs on by the skin of his teeth, makes it into Q3. Very close there, and I assume Angry Dave, yeah, down this time, as I expected. I saw that he was going quite slowly, and I think he had already started his lap by that point. So yeah, unfortunately, Giustarini could not find the time at the end there, and did not make it. Just got to wait for the Red Bull to finish whatever he's doing. So, hopefully it won't be too much longer. Don't know if he knows that he can just retire as soon as he's in the pit lane. So there we go. Jack again, fastest. Cube Tom a couple tenths behind him, as it was in Q1. But this time we are losing Giustarini, Remy Kaikkonen, BPA and Angry Dave, both Hasses, a Ferrari and a Red Bull gone from Q2. Alright then. So, Q3 coming up, more rain still to come. Who is going to take pole? My money's on Jack, but anything could happen. So now heading into Q3, 12 minutes on the clock, 10 drivers remain. Let's see who can snatch pole at the end of this session. Who has saved intermediate tyres from the previous sessions as well. That's going to be another thing. If you don't have the tyres, First onto track is it's the two Salvers. Think it's followed by Jack. Now, most of the cars making their way out onto track, just a Williams of Cube Tom left in the garage. Asteroid has left the session. So all 10 drivers out on track now. And here come the two Salvers. On to start their first laps. I expect we're going to see 2 laps from the drivers. If they have 2 new sets, I expect if anybody does only have 1 set, they'll be using a used set currently. Yellow flags in Sector 1, one of the Red Bulls that we remix. Going slowly, abandoning his lap. But coming to the end of this lap now. Jack currently has purple, Sector 1, Sector 2. 2 drivers still yet to set Sector 1 times. So still yet to have all the data. But as it stands, it looks like Jack is flying along. Little snap of oversteer there from Finkis as he came around 27. Up to the line. Jack following just behind again. Losing the roller bit across the line. A 38.4 for Finkis. Jack up to the line. What can he do? A 37.2, 1.2 seconds clear of his Alfa Romeo counterpart. William Talbot now scraped through from Q2 into Q3, trying to save some tyres across the line. So that's a 138.4, just a 100th behind Finkis. Next car to the line. Ramo goes to the second fastest with a 138 dead. Next car is going to be Micromash, who sets a 138.6. Only 5th fastest right here. Max Tomberger 39.5, 6th fastest. Crossfrog goes 6th fastest, now replacing the Mercedes. Sets a 138.6, just a couple 100th behind his teammate. Gibbo in the AlphaTauri, sorry. Getting a bit squirrely on the exit, up to the line. And sets a 138.5, P5 for him. Not a bad result at all. The Red Bull going into the pit lane there. Abandoning his lap. Cube Tom goes fastest at 137.1, a 10th clear of the lap that Jack managed to put on the table. Nice job by the Williams driver. Can he replicate that in the second runs, though? That is going to be critical for him. The rest of the drivers just making their way back to the pits. That lap came about as a result of a purple Sector 1 and 3 I believe Jack has the purple sector 2. But yeah, very nice job from Cube Tom to put it on provisional pole. What is going to happen in the second runs of the session? Ramo's had a 5th-place grid penalty for a collision with Micromash. Not sure what's happened there. Ramo, yeah, not ideal for him. I think that would be... Oh, and another crash with the Alpine of Crossfrog. That's a second 5th-place grid penalty for Ramo. I've seen that one happen. I don't know if that one will get removed. Yeah, not too sure what to say about that. Not ideal. Some drivers going for a second lap, it seems. Or did they just forget to pit? I'm not too sure. Nope, Jack is up. Never mind, sorry. Just not seeing it correctly. Jack is up on his time on this lap. 5 minutes left on the clock. I guess he will bail back to the pits if he has a new set. Depending on what this lap is like. Coming through the middle sector. Yeah, purple sector 1 for Jack. Through sector 2. Split line is just here. A 10th up for Jack. Not his best middle sector though. Oh, we have yellow flags. Ramo. I'm not sure what's going on here. Stopped on track. So yeah, Jack did abort that lap. And Ramo has retired. So William Talbot, I think everybody just preparing for laps here. Remix might be on the lap actually. We'll head over to him. 2 minutes 40 on the clock. Lots of drivers going to be rushing out of the pit lane in the next few moments. Just waiting for it to update so I can see the sector time from the Red Bull. Nothing coming through yet. It does seem like he's pushing though. So we will keep following this one. Cube Tom has started his lap as well, I believe. Sector's looking quite good from the Red Bull. Might be jumping himself up a couple positions here, maybe into that top 5 as he comes towards the line. It's a 137.1. Never mind up the top 5. He's on provisional pole now. Let's head over to Cube Tom on his lap. A little bit of traffic he's had to navigate here. Not going to be helping his time. Coming through the middle sector, William Talbot also retiring from the pit lane. He's not going out to do another lap. He'll be starting P7 at best with 3 drivers behind, all on laps. Not looking great for him. Here comes Cube Tom. Currently 13 thousandths of a second behind Remix. Can he find the time to snatch that provisional pole back? Or is it going to have to be second best for him today? Out of the final corner now, on the run towards the start-finish line. What pace does Cube Tom have in the Williams car? Let's see now across the line. It's a 36.7, finds 4/10 on that lap, and puts himself onto provisional pole. What can Jack do to challenge him now? I believe we're going to have Crossfrog. Is that Crossfrog finishing a lap? No, that's Micromash starting a lap. Never mind. Yeah, let's head over to Jack then. He is going to be in for a shot at pole position here. If he can keep this lap together, get it nicely hooked up. Coming through Sector 1. Purple Sector is a 36.2. And Jack sets a 36.1. Purple first sector for the Alfa Romeo driver. He is flying along nicely. Cube Tom, I think, also still pushing on to try and challenge Jack, but Jack is finding the time he needs at this point. Yellow flags, that's the Red Bull down at the final corner, just making his way back to finish the session. So let's head over to Max Tomberg, the first driver to finish a lap here. He's 1.7 up through the first 2 sectors. Decent chunk of time found from him. Let's see what he can do. We've got yellow flags. One of the Alpines going slowly. End of their qualifying. I believe that's Crossfrog. Making a mistake down at 23. Won't be able to improve from P9. Here comes Max Tomberg to the line. Goes 4th fastest. Nice lap from him. Finkits now replaces him in P4. Finding the time. Next car to the line. It's going to be Cube Tom. Can he? No, he's into the pit lane. Not improving on his time. Has Jack found the time to snatch back pole position? Yes, he has. A 36.6 from him puts him onto pole position. Cube Tom will be starting alongside on the front row. Gibbo up to P7. Crossrock stays in P10. Final car to the line. It's going to be Micromash 6/10 up. Goes up to P4 onto the second row of the grid. Replacing Finkits. A 37.3 from him. A 10th faster than the Alfa Romeo driver. Nice qualifying from him. Very good job from all the drivers. But in the end, as we saw in Q1 and Q2, it's Jack P1, Cube Tom P2. So we will just have a quick run through of the grid. So it is Jack taking pole position from Cube Tom, Remix, Micromash Finkits, Max Tomberg, Ramo, Gibbo, William Talbot, Crossrock. Remember though, Ramo did pick up 2 5-place grid penalties. He will start down at the back of the grid. Yeah, unfortunate for him, but that is what happens. So that is qualifying for you. I believe we're going to be having a lobby restart as well. So we will be back very shortly once that is all sorted. So yeah, see you all soon. Alrighty then, we are now onto the formation lap here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here in Wicked Wednesday. Getting underway now after that lobby restart. There's the tyres for you. Everybody is on the medium compound tyres except for Finkit and Will. They have opted for the hard compound tyres. Just a quick run through of the grid. We have Jack on P1, Q Tom alongside him. Then it's Remix on the second row with Micromash. Then Finkit's Max Tomberg. Gibbo and Will, Crossfrog and Justarini, Remy Kaikkonen and BPA, Angry Dave and Basic, Tyrant and Ramo, and on the back row, all on his own, is Asteroid after he disqualified himself from qualifying. So, yeah, there is the grid order for you. And everybody just making their way around. Asteroid quite a way off the back of the pack. But, yeah. Just making our way through the order. No, that's Max Tomberg at the back. Not sure why he's so far back. Anyway. So, most of the grid now just forming up. We just got to wait for Max Tomberg to decide to finish his formation lap. Doesn't seem he is particularly keen to get racing. William Talbot disqualifying. He is, I think, going to be starting on some cold, hard tyres, unfortunately. Not going to give him some great grip off of the line. But that is what you get. Let's just have a look at the camera angles. I hope those reset because none of those look particularly great. Asteroid as well. The other Mercedes disqualifying. Not ideal. Right then, hopefully not going to be too much longer. The Mercedes finally back to the grid. Alright then. Here we go, the Mercedes just lining up on the grid now. And here we go, the 5 lights gonna be coming on any second. There we go. We're gonna get a good camera angle. No, we're not. The 5 lights are on here in Jeddah, and we are underway racing. Jack. No, that's Jack. That's one of the Red Bulls. Angle at a very big angle, and they've got Ferrari spinning off the line. Jack leads us into turn 1. Further back though, little bit of chaos. The Ferrari already picking up wing damage. Not great for his start. Not too sure what happened to him. Bikesberg, after that very long formation lap, making up a position up into P5 now as they head into turn 4. Couple drivers fighting it out here, but not really going to end particularly well your fights through that sector of the track. Asteroid making up some positions here, but bad start there from Basic, picking up that damage. Not going to be helping his race at all. Down fighting with Ramo. I'm not sure if Ramo's picked up some damage as well. Yes, he has. Missing front wing end plate for the Aston Martin. Asteroid making up another position on Remy Kaikkonen and up into 13th now after his qualifying disqualification. Trying the last to first here in Jeddah. Into the chicane we go now, and the Ferrari's gone wide. Too wide in front of this Mercedes as well. A little bit of a squeeze there, almost into the wall, as Justarini got overtaken by Tyrant, and then the Mercedes coming under pressure as well. Out in front, Cube Tom has gone past Jack up into the race lead. Those two swapping positions. Further back, the Mercedes of Asteroid on the back of Tyrant. Tyrant trying to recover after a poor qualifying, trying to seal the championship. He can do it at this race if he scores enough points. But it might be a bit of a tall order starting this. But back here comes Asteroid to the inside of the championship leader. Is he going to make this move stick on the exit? Coming onto the straight on this contact, and Tyrant spun round. Oh, and they not only just about avoid that crash. Asteroid and Tyrant coming together. Oh, and almost a collection there between Ramo and Asteroid. As Asteroid tried to turn the car around, picking up some wing damage as he turns that car around as well. He's going to be coming into the pit lane. Disastrous start from Tyrant and Asteroid. Coming together at the end of lap 1. Cube, Tom and Jack out in front by 1.3 seconds though. They're going to be having a nice little battle out in front for a while. BPA putting some pressure on the Alpine of Crossfrog here as well. Little mistake there from the Alpine, got onto that curb, almost losing the car there. Here comes BPA down towards the banked corner here. Is he going to have a look to the inside? Looked for a moment like he was going to try and send it, but just too far back to make a move there. Tyrant past the Red Bull of Angry Dave, up into 13th place, but 3 seconds off the back of Remy Kaikkonen now. All his progress he made on lap 1 wasted away after that contact with Asteroid. Possible race strategies: 1 stop mediums to hards, pitting on lap 12, 2 stop, starting on the softs, pitting to mediums around lap 9, and then pitting to mediums again around lap 17, I think it was. Going to be interesting. Cube Tom has pulled a bit of a gap out in front though, starting to break away. Here comes Micromash on the back of Finkis, and also that's Finkis on the back of Maxberg, making moves in the final sector. BPA closing in on Crossfrog, not close enough for a move though. Here comes the Mercedes of Maxberg Tom down the start-finish straight, gaining on the Alfa Romeo in the slipstream. Finkis going defensive. Maxberg going to try it around the outside. Switches to the inside for the next corner, but he's not far enough alongside. Fastest lap of the race as well for Cube Tom. Not sure if that was a mistake from Jack. Potentially, I'm surprised Cube Tom was able to pull such a large gap in that second lap there. So 1.2 seconds out in front for the Williams driver. Oh, Maxberg going off the track. They're going to put him under pressure from Gibbo here. DRS is enabled on this lap as well. Think it's not going to be getting DRS off of Micromash. So maybe some pressure from the Mercedes behind as well. Looks like we're going to have a nice battle here for P5. Micromash might put some pressure on the Red Bull as well, heading down the back straight. DRS opening now for Gibbo. Can he elevate his position? He's also in the championship fight. Currently sat in P2, Jack in P3, set to make that P2, I believe, after this race. Oh, and think it's a little bit wide there. Had to cut the corner, probably picked up a track limits warning. Here comes Gibbo closing in on the Mercedes. Here comes Max Tomberg. Past Finkits, 2 positions lost for the Alfa Romeo driver. Gibbo having a look to the inside at turn 27. Can he make the move stick on the Mercedes driver? A little bit of wheel banging there as they went through the corner. That's going to give Finkits a nice look on the exit, making the move on the Mercedes with the switchback, and he's gaining on Gibbo. They both have DRS. It's going to be a drag race down towards turn 1. Who has the lower wings? It looks like it's Gibbo, but Finkis will have the inside line, and the Mercedes is trying to make it 3 wide into turn 1. Contact between the pair of them, and more contact on the exit as well. Gibbo and Max Tomberg both going off the track 3 wide, now heading down towards turn 4, and there's contact again. Finkis put into the barrier, down into turn 4. Now 2 by 2 they go, and they all managed to make it through just about. The Williams and William Talbot having to cut the track though, might get an illegal overtake on the Mercedes there, and going to have to give those positions back, I think. Looked like he cut the track to make those moves happen. Is he going to have to back off? Yes, he is. He's backing off to let those cars through. And in fact, I think he's going to lose the position to Crossfrog as a result as well, having to slow down. William Talbot losing out in the end as a result of that. Crucially, though, Gibbo has managed to break the DRS to Finkis as they continued their battles. Fastest lap of the race for Asteroid in the Mercedes. He's currently down in 17th and last place after that lap 1 incident with Tyrant. Not a great start to the race for him at all. Picked up some wing damage, got spun round, and could not really do anything at all. Could be interesting to see the steward's verdict on that one. Here comes Max Tomberg to the outside of Finkis, coming into the far chicane. Crossfrog and Will fighting it as well. Will has the inside line on the Alpine driver. Is there going to be contact? Little bit of wheel banging there. Crossfrog almost had to cut the corner there, go off the track. All more wheel banging as they head down the straight. Here comes Justerini as well. They're going to go 3 wide, down through 25 and 26 towards the final corner. Crossfrog losing the position to Will. Will in that Williams going to have really nice straight line speed. Remy Kaikkonen to the inside of Justerini as well as they head down towards turn 1. Finkits putting pressure on the Mercedes here. Lots of battling in the early stage of the place. Finkits up past the Mercedes of Max Tomberg. Here comes Remy Kaikkonen past Justerini. He's going to have a look to the inside of Crossrock, and he's going to send it down the inside on Will, almost making contact with the Williams there. Just keeps that car stable, though. Here comes Crossrock now to the outside of turn 4. I think it's going to be a tricky move to make. Almost gets squeezed into the barrier of the Ferrari, and the Ferrari hits the wall on the inside. Maybe some wing damage for him. We'll see quite quickly, given his pace through Sector 1. Looks like he's come off unscathed. Oh, and a mistake for Crossrock. He's off onto that curb, skateboarding off, and unfortunately that is a mistake for him, losing a couple more positions. Tyrant now up into 11th place as he's managed to get past BPA. BPA now having a look to the inside of the AlphaTauri, almost making that move happen, just too far back to send it there. Now coming down towards the back straight again. 1.3 second Cube Tom's lead. Finkits. Oh, and there's a crash! Big crash there! Oh, more cars getting involved. Justerini getting involved in that one as well. I think that was Remy Kaikkonen also hitting the back of Finkits there as the Finkits got put into the wall. We have a safety car deployed. That was a very big crash there. I think drivers forgetting that ghosting is disabled. And they just piled on in. No effort to try and avoid that one. Unfortunately, time penalties being picked up as well. 10 seconds for Remy Kaikkonen for the collisions there. Finkits picks up 5 seconds as well as a result. Not sure exactly what happened between Finkits and Max Tomberg. But Max Tomberg definitely coming off worse. Williams Albon and Remy Kaikkonen making contact under the safety car as well. Into the pit lane comes Max Tomberg, comes William Talbot. William Talbot missing an end plate, that's why he's in. And Remy Kaikkonen will be unexpected with wing damage and probably to serve that penalty as well. So the entire field, in fact, into the pit lane. As we can see, let's see what tyres they go for. Looks like most of them go for hard compound tyres. Micromash onto the mediums. Going to be a bold strategy call from him. Let's see how it works out for him. But other than that, we have Justerini onto the softs, Crossrock onto the softs as well, William Talbot onto the mediums, Tyrant onto the softs. Yeah, let's wait for the field to settle as they come out of the pit lane. Now, lots of chaos in there. The people this really does help, though. Basic, Ramo, Asteroid all had quite bad starts to this race. This will bring them back into it. Let them catch back up to the pack. But yeah, not too sure what happened between those drivers. Maybe we will see in the incident reports later on. But Cube Tom out in front, Jack in P2. Micromash has made its way up into P3 with those medium tyres. I think Remix might have picked up some wing damage, which would explain why he dropped behind Micromash during the pit stops. So a bit more of a mix now. We have 4 drivers on mediums, 5 drivers on softs, and the other, the rest of them, however many that is, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The rest of them, I can't bother to count it. I'm probably counting wrong anyway. No, it is 8. Yeah, the other 8 on the hard compound tyres. So, yeah, a nice mix of tyre strategies now. I expect Cube Tom, Jack, Gibbo, Remix, Max Tomberg, Remy Kaikkonen, Basic and Asteroid all in the hards might try and take those to the end if we don't have another safety car. I would expect at least one more stop from the rest of them without a safety car. I don't think the mediums will make it. 18 laps, but I guess they might do. Just the pace might not be great. Yeah, so Micromash actually does have to pit again no matter what. He started on the mediums, gone to another set of mediums. Will started on the hards and has gone to a set of mediums now. The other driver to start on the hards was Remy Kaikkonen, I believe. No, it was Finkits, and he has gone for mediums now. So everybody upholding the tyre regulations except for Micromash, who will definitely have to make another pit stop along with all of the soft runners. Remy Kaikkonen into serve his other 5-second time penalty for those collisions as a result of this safety car coming out. So hopefully the safety car should be in at the end of this lap 7. So safety car back in at lap 8, 18 laps of racing to the end. Should give us plenty of action. If we had that much in the first 6, 18 more still to come should give us plenty. So yeah, just waiting for Remy to catch up. He is currently coming through Sector 1. The rest of the cars on the XF13 right now, making their way through the pack. So the Ferrari has managed to catch up to the back of the pack quite quickly. Let's see, I would expect the safety car to be in this lap, but I guess maybe it won't be. We'll have to see in just a moment the safety car line. Although the Ferrari just dropped halfway through, that was the line. Should be called any second if it will be in this lap. There we go, safety car in this lap. Here we go now with Cube Tom. It's up to him to bring the pack to the start-finish line and get us underway racing. The safety car making its way back to the pit lane. And the field will bunch up behind the Williams driver now as the safety car is headed for pit lane. Cube Tom got to make the decision. When is he going to make that jump to try and get a good restart here? Little bit of a concertina effect in the midfield. And there goes Cube Tom out of the final corner. Here we go, racing again here in Jeddah. It was an alright start from Cube Tom, but Jack is gaining fast on him. Is he going to go for the move? He's going to have a look to the outside line on Cube Tom. Can he make this move stick round the outside of the Williams driver, who have slightly more downforce in that Alfa Romeo? They're going to stay wheel to wheel, though, on the exit down towards turn 4. And then we got, looks like wing damage for a second. 3-second time penalty for Asteroid for track limits. I don't think there was any wing damage there, fortunately, for the Alfa Romeo driver. Looked like it was just a visual bug there. Seems though that everybody has managed to make it through cleanly on this restart. Gibbo going a little bit wide there through the S's. And Remix gaining fast on the AlphaTauri to the inside, having a look. Can he make that move stick? Yes, he can. Just has so much more grip in the Red Bull. Up into P4 now. Nice move from him. Tyrant on the soft compound tyres on the back of Giustarini, trying to make some moves here up into the higher positions to try and defend his championship lead. Not sure exactly how many points he would need to score. Micromash has managed to get the move done on Jack, actually. That's quite a crucial move for him. He needs to try and get past Cube Tom as well as soon as possible. His strategy only really works if he can start clearing a lot of drivers further back down the pack. Angry Dave and Basic fighting. Oh, we got a couple cars off the track. Basic and Angry Dave coming off worst from that. But I think Remy, Asteroid, Ramo have all also been involved in that. Quite a big separation in the pack. BPA to the inside of Fink is trying to make the move. Tyrant and Giustarini, William Talbot also getting involved in that fight as well. Heading down the start-finish straight. 4 drivers battling it out for P6 as we head down towards turn 1. Make that 5. Crossroad trying to get involved. Doesn't look like he's going to quite do it. Into turn 1 now. Almost went 3 wide there for a second. Everybody getting a bit stuck up on the apexes of the corners. Max Stormberg comes down before we got contact. And Tyrant's picked up wing damage. Tyrant has no front wing. That's really unfortunate for him. It's going to be a pit stop for the AlphaTauri. More contact and we have cars round. 3 cars off into the barriers. Oh, we'll make that for an unsafe rejoin from the Haas in the background. BPA reversing out back onto the track, I think that was. Collected another car. 5-second time penalty. Basic's been collected. And we have another safety car deployed. That is not great for the likes of Micromash, really. I think he'd rather those hards did as many laps as possible to pick up as much tyre wear as possible. Tyrant's been quite lucky that the safety car did come out. Their Basics got no wing as well. BPA obviously had that unsafe rejoin. But yeah, quite a few drivers got involved in that. Just looking for damage on other cars right now. Angry Dave's picked up a drive-through for speeding on the safety car. Not great for him. Unfortunately, going to be dropping him way off the pack. Just taking a look at people's front wings right now. And looks like everybody else's wings are intact. Oh, and nearly Remix going into the back. He is going racing under the safety car. Not too sure why. No need really to be racing. coming into the pit lane now. Nobody deciding to make the pit stops. Like I said, we're going to see pit stops from the guys further back, though. Like Crossfrog, maybe he picked up some light damage. Justerini coming in as well. I think it maybe also just the guys on the soft compound tyres as well. Ramos picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That'll be down at 22. William Talbot picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunate for him. But most of those guys down at the back making their way in for a pit stop. Ramo coming in as well. Asteroid opts to stay out. Angry Dave has a drive that he won't be able to serve it under the safety car. But he's choosing to come in for a pit stop anyway. Not too sure why. He's on the hard compound tyres. They would go to the end. Either way, he has chosen to make a pit stop. He's hit the wall on the entry there, actually. Stopped. Needs to put it back into gear. Not too sure what's going on with the Red Bull. Stopped in the pit lane. Can he not get the car in gear? And he's been disqualified. Unfortunately, Angry Dave out of this race. The first driver to be out of this race, actually, despite 2 safety cars and several large crashes. No DNFs thus far. So, top 6 stayed on the same tyres, along with William Talbot. Actually, I think he's on his original hard tyres right now, 5 laps old. So apart from William Talbot, everybody from 7th down came in for a pit stop. I expect we're going to see Will in again onto a set of mediums, probably to go to the end, serve that 5-second time penalty as well. Very unfortunate. Red Bull looks like Remix might be in the looks of the pits as well. See, doesn't look like it, never mind. But here, anybody coming in, Williams, as expected, coming in to serve that time penalty. Everybody else, I think, staying out on track. So yeah, safety car should be in at the end of lap 12, around half race distance. So still plenty of action to come in the second half of this race. Seen lots of close racing, couple crashes, which aren't ideal, but it's kept the pack close together and it's kept it exciting for sure. So the drivers just making their way through the final sector. I expect we're going to see safety car in this lap. Just got to wait for Remy to close that gap. And there we go, safety car in this lap. So once again down to Cube Tom. Let's see what he can do on this restart. Coming down towards the final corner. And when is he going to make the jump? Is he going to do it in the same place as last time? Oh, almost contact there with the Red Bull, and I think he has gone, although the field's starting to close up a little bit. There he goes now. Cube Tom back underway racing down towards turn 1. Remix all over the back of Jack. He's going to have a look to the inside of the Alfa Romeo, down towards turn 1. Here comes the Red Bull up into the podium positions. Nice move from him. We have more yellow flags. Chaos down at the back. What is happening here on this restart? BPA's off into the wall. Remy Kaikkonen's round. Justarini's been involved as well. More carnage on the restart once more into turn 4. Tyrant and Basic almost coming together there. But yeah, these guys, seems they're struggling a little bit to get a clean restart. Down into turn 13. Ramo getting passed by Basic and Tyrant. Will almost goes into the back of the Aston Martin. Into 15 and 16. Almost a collision there between those guys. They managed to get through cleanly though. Down. Here comes Finkits on Crossfrog into 22. Nobody quite able to get close enough, although a little mistake there from Crossfrog. Went a little bit wide. That could be Finkits' chance as he heads down. And that is the move done. Asteroid also up past Gibbo. Here he comes to the inside of Jack as well, sending it to the inside of the Alfa Romeo driver. Asteroid on the soft compound tyres up to P4. Really nice restart from him with those tyres. And here comes Crossfrog and Finkits into turn 1. A little bit of contact again. Everybody up front seems to be making it through quite cleanly though. Max Tomberg overtakes Gibbo. Seems like he made a little mistake. And Asteroid making another move. Asteroid is on a charge. Up to P3 now. Could he be going for the move on Micromash in the next lap? Those soft tyres really switched on for him. Really working. Tyrant all over the back of Crossfrog now. Coming down towards the back straight. No DRS on this lap. But here comes the AlphaTauri driver having a look to the inside, heading down towards 22. Who is going to come out on top? Crossfrog or Tyrant? Crossfrog just marginally ahead. Tyrant backs out. 3-second time penalty for Jack as well. He's currently in P5. Not a great restart from here. Here comes Tyrant again. Gibbo as well on Max Tomberg further in front. Also going for a move. Looks like he's managed to pull ahead. And William Tabo gets the move done on Finkits as Crossfrog and Tyrant continue this battle. DRS is enabled. Max Tomberg in the slipstream of Gibbo just in front of this battle. Down towards turn 1. Here comes William Tabo to the inside of Tyrant. 3 wide heading into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? Crossfrog just comes out ahead. Tyrant and Will battle it closely. No space given by either of them. As always, down towards turn 4. Gibbo and Max Tomberg just managed to get through, but Max Tomberg off the track. He might have to give that position back. And we have another safety car. What's happened now? Justarini's come a cropper down at turn 4. He's managed to keep going. But that is safety car number 3. And Remy Kaikkonen, sorry, he's picked up a drive-through for speeding. And very unfortunate for him. So, Asteroid probably going to be quite happy with that. He can probably fit a set of mediums to the end now. He'll have a bit of a tyre advantage. Basic 3-second time penalty for track limits as well. Let's see who's going to come into the pits. It looks like Cube Tom having a look. Is he going to come in? Yes, he is. Micromash, Asteroid, Remix all making their way in. I think we're going to see pit stops from most of the grid here. Who is going to choose to stay out? Seems absolutely nobody. So it's going to be a fresh reset on the tyres. Crossfrog picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding. Not great for his race.
I think we're also going to see a couple double stacks down at Mercedes. I think that's the first one I can see. Haas will get affected a little bit as well, potentially. What happened? Oh, was Jack the reason we have the safety car? He's way down the order. What happened to Jack? I didn't even notice that. Remy Kaikkonen's the only driver to stay out. He is now leading the race on old hard tyres. And he's been disqualified for ignoring yellow flag. So that's race over for him. Puts Cube Tom back up to P1. He's only the second driver out, despite the 3 safety cars. So Jack comes out down in P14 on a new set of softs, but quite a lot of the grid also has softs. Going to be very interesting to see if he can recover this. Oh, and Crossfrog. What's happened to Crossfrog? There's a piece of end plate on the ground there. Has he come a cropper? Crossfrog's going slowly. Is somebody else involved in that, or is that his wing? That is Crossfrog's wing. Well, he had to come into the pits anyway to serve that penalty, I expect. So I don't think the safety car is going to be in this lap. It'll be a very late call if it is. But this should give Crossfrog the chance to fix his wing, serve that penalty as well. Let's have a quick look at those penalties. See what is still yet to be served. We have 3 seconds for Asteroid, 3 seconds for Ramo, 3 seconds for Basic, and 3 seconds for Jack. Basic also coming to the pits. Maybe he was involved in that incident with Crossfrog. Yeah, not too sure. I think Jackson again as well. Yeah. So Jack now down in P14. Going to be a very interesting recovery from him with 9 or so laps to go in the race. So, Crossfrog just catching up to the back of the pack now. I expect we're going to see safety car in this lap once again. This time, the same tyres for that top 3, all of them on equal footing. Should be a bit more of an equal fight. Here we go, safety car in this lap. And Kiro goes left position. So Cube Tom's third, safety car restart. Let's see what he can do this time around. Safety car just making its way into the pit lane. And Q-Tom this time leaving it very late to make the jump, but he is underway. Racing once again down towards turn 1. Max Tomberg on the back of Gibbo, heading towards turn 1. Red Bull of Remix having a look to try and make the move on Asteroid as well. Seems everybody's managed to make it through cleanly this time, though. Finally, a clean safety car restart. Tyrant and Will battling out down towards turn 4. Gibbo gets the move done on Max Tomberg. Further back down the pack, everybody just finding their way through. Not really much space for an overtake. Here comes Jack to the inside of Justorini. Had a look, but just not far enough alongside. It's going to be quite a tough recovery from him to try and get back to the front. But he is going for a move now to the outside of Justorini. Is he going to send it? Yes, he is. Round the outside of the Haas driver up into P12 now. He is on a charge. Tyrant past Ramo as well. Down towards turn 15. Nice overtake from him as well. Out in front, Cube Tom still leading 7/10 in front of Micromash. Here comes Ramo trying to put some more pressure back on Tyrant down the straight. BPA under pressure from Jack behind as well. Going to be an interesting battle now heading onto the next straight. Who can get a good launch out of turn 23? Looks like BPA has gone a little bit deep, and that has given Jack the opportunity. Jack now up into P11. Going to deploy a little bit of battery, I think, to try and defend from the Haas driver, who's probably dumping all of that battery. Ramo managed to get past Tyrant. Maxberg past Finkits into the final corner. BPA sends a lunge on Jack, and there's contact. BPA sent spinning round down to last place, and that is probably race over unless we get another safety car. Unfortunately for the Haas driver. Here comes Ramo having a look to the inside. Will and Max Tomberg through 1 and 2. Will managing to get the move on the Mercedes up into 7th. Cube Tom now leading by 8/10, starting to pull a small gap. Oh, and through turn 4, Will has to cut the track. Going to have to give that position back to the Mercedes. Tyrant right behind as well might benefit from Will having to get out of the way. And we have yellow flags, and Asteroid is out. And we have another safety car, Asteroid, losing on the exit of turn 11 into the barriers. And it is race over for the Mercedes driver. Unfortunate end to his race. Will gets a 5-second time penalty for the illegal overtake. He wasn't able to give it back. And yeah, we'll have to see what he does. Is he going to serve it under the safety car? Asteroid has left the session now. Unfortunate end to his race. Don't know if he was potentially fighting with Remix there. And maybe some contact. This will be an interesting restart now, though. Is anybody going to pit for new softs, or are they just going to stay out on the slightly worn softs? They're probably somewhere between 5 and 10% now, I think. Probably around 5. But if everybody behind you pits, you're going to be at a decent disadvantage here. With 7 laps remaining currently, probably 5 once we get back underway. Who is going to make the call to box? Cube Tom coming into the pit lane. Micromash follows him. Remix decides to stay out on the used mediums. Gibbo into the pits. Finn into the pits. Will into the pits. Max Tomberg stays out. Tyrant into the pits. Ramo on the hard compound tyres stays out. Jack into the pits. Basic has stayed out. Crossrock in. Justorini in. And BPA down at the back into the pit lane as well. So Remix, Max Tomberg, Basic, Ramo are the 4 that have stayed out. A few drivers still getting held in their pit boxes. So for once we get a restart from someone other than Cube Tom. Justorini has left the session after a DNF. Did he just lose the car there? I'm not too sure. Maybe if we head over to BPA. Oh, no, he has just decided to retire. So, yeah, not too sure what's happening. 13 drivers remain in the race now. Lap 19 out of 25. That is this is safety car number 4. Still could get one more theoretically. If we have a chaotic end to this race potentially. The pack just starting to catch up now.
So, on the end of this restart, I expect it will be at the end of this one. We will have 5 laps of racing. So yeah, gonna be an interesting battle. Cube Tom currently sat in P5, trying to fight his way back up to P1. Yeah, gonna be an interesting battle up at the front, but also you've got Jack down in P12 trying to fight back through to try and continue his championship fight. So yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a lot of action in these final few laps. Could see some more crashes as well, with people potentially getting a bit desperate for some moves, a bit impatient. Coming through the middle sector now, should be in at the end of this lap. So here we go with the Red Bull coming down towards turn 27 now. Remix leading us away for this restart. What can he do on the used medium tyres? The only driver on the mediums. Here we go down into the final corner. When is he going to make the jump? It is going to be now, out of 27. The Red Bull is back underway racing. Here we go. At the Corniche circuit, 5 laps of racing to come. Who is going to come out on top? P5 Cube Tom on the newest tyres, at least the highest driver on new tyres. Down into turn 1, Cube Tom having a look on the Ferrari, not quite close enough. Further back, William Talbot, think it's battling. Jack gets past Crossfrog. Nice move early on from him. People need to make the moves fast, but they have to be careful. Make sure they're making the moves clean, otherwise it could be race over. So far, not too many overtakes happening in this early stage, but Sector 1, not too many overtaking opportunities. Here is the first proper overtaking opportunity of the lap. Cube Tom having a look to the inside of Basic, not close enough. Basic seems to be losing a lot of battery to try and hold it. Is Cube Tom going to get a better exit though with the new tyres? Powering out of turn 13, up into P4 now on the charge. Next car ahead of him is Ramo on the hard compound tyres. He is pushing hard. Jack is now up into P10 as well, getting the move done on Finkits. Jack into the points paying positions, but he has that 3-second time penalty to contend with. Not going to be ideal for him come the end of this race. Down towards turn 23. Remix under pressure from Max Tomberg. The pack starting to bunch up and a little bit of contact there. Cube Tom almost into the back of Ramo. Looks like he was going to have a spin, but he's managed to keep going. Down towards 27 now. Oh, and Cube Tom's into the barriers. Massive crash there with Cube Tom. That's his race over. His home win chances are gone, and we have another safety car here on lap 21 of 25. This safety car going to be coming in with 2 laps of racing to go. What are the field going to do now? I think everybody's surely going to stay out, except for maybe a few of the guys at the back, like BPA and maybe Crossfrog might make a dart to the pit lane for new tyres. William Talbot into the pits. But that is a calamitous end to the race for Cube Tom. Not sure if there was contact there, but that is race over for the Williams driver. And a very unfortunate end too. Ramo's managed to overtake Basic under the safety car as well. Not too sure how that's happened. Oh, Basic's just lagged back. I think that's why. Basic is lagging a bit. And Ramo going off track as well. I think people trying to get back into their correct positions, but not working out perfectly. So 12 drivers remain. So, yeah, I expect safety car's going to be in at the end of lap 23, giving us 2 laps of racing, no DRS for those 2 laps. Any driver with a time hold is probably not going to be overly happy with this. Maybe they can get it removed. Maybe they got a warning while battling out the car, got forced off the track. So 1 more lap onto the safety car, 2 more laps of racing, and then we have the final result. For a second, I thought Max Tomberg was coming into the pit lane. I was going to say that would be a very surprising call. So coming through the first sector now, final lap of this race behind the safety car, and then it will be green flag running to the end no matter what. Alright then, so coming through the end of this final the middle sector, sorry. Any second now, we will be back underway for the 2 laps of racing, 2 lap sprint to the end. And it can get very chaotic. Drivers making late moves, trying last-ditch efforts to try and make the overtakes happen. Max Tomberg leading us down towards turn 27 to get underway for this race restart. Can he maintain the race lead? He's one of 8 drivers who doesn't have a time penalty currently. So if he can maintain the leading position, it will be very nice for him. But it's going to come down to when he wants to make the move to get underway. And can he get a good restart? He has gone now. And a little bit of a delay through the pack there. I think that's the Aston Martin of Colorado not getting a great restart there. Down towards turn 1 we go. The Red Bull right on the back of the Mercedes. Can he make this move happen? Into turn 1. He's having a look to the inside. Here we go. Red Bull and Mercedes fighting into turn 1. There's a little bit of contact between them. And Max Tomberg comes out on top. Basic. Oh, there's a crash. The Red Bull and the Mercedes come together. More contact behind as the drivers get collected without the ghosting. Micromash up into the lead. Gibbo in P2. Tyrant's up to P3. As it stands, I believe Tyrant would seal his Drivers' Championship right now. Max Tomberg has retired. Unfortunate restart for him. Contact with Remix. Mick Brink brought his race to a close. There's still going to be a fight, though, between those drivers at the back for the final positions. More yellow flags. That's Crossrog round at turn 11. He's off into the barriers, I believe. 11 drivers still remaining. We're going to have a fight between Remix and Basic for that final points position. But Jack now up into P5, fighting it with Ramo as well. Down towards turn 15 we go. Jack on the outside, Ramo on the inside. Who's going to come out on top? Jack around the outside, gets forced off the track. No space left for Jack. Is he going to get an illegal activity? Can have to give that position back. Looks like he is backing off to let them back through. Unfortunately for him, might report that one for the driving standards. Back up the inside into 22 and leaves no space for Ramo there. Returning the favour after what he did earlier. And Ramo's round now. But out in front, Micromash and Gibbo only separated by a couple tenths as we start the final lap of the race. Who is going to come out on top here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit? Micromash currently leads us away. No DRS going to be deployed because we aren't going to have more than 2 laps after the safety car. Tyrant not too far behind this battle, but looks like he's going to be a little bit too far to try and overtake unless these guys start battling through the middle sector. through turns 2 and 3. Looks like Micromash is starting to pull a bit of a gap here over the AlphaTauri driver. Let's see if Gibbo can stick with him through the next sector. Will has managed to overtake Ramo up into P8 now. Jack currently sat in P6. Will hold that after the time penalty as well. But yeah, looks like Micromash is starting to pull that gap. Looks like he might have this one in the bag unless Gibbo can put a really mega effort in through the middle sector and the final sector down the long straights. Only 3 braking zones left in the lap now. Let's see what he can do. Coming through the chicane, the gap's now down to 0.6 of a second. A little bit of a snap from Gibbo there. And that might be his chance over to try and take the race win. Unfortunately, Micromash has a big margin now. BPA right on the back of Finkits here as well. Heading down towards turn 22. Can he try and stick the nose in? Try and make the overtake happen? Looks like he might be a little bit too far back. But with a good exit on the run down towards the final corner. Could have a chance here. Further back as well. More battles happening between Ramo and Will. BPA round the outside of Finkits on the exit. Gets the move done. But heading down towards the final corner. He managed to make his way through the chaos. It was a very chaotic race. Chaos left, right and centre. Micromash is going to come home to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Gibbo takes P2 and Tyrant takes P3. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the championship one for Tyrant as well. Finkits will come across the line in P4, but that time penalty will drop into P5. BPA takes P4. Jack takes P5. Finkits comes home P6. Crossfrog will come home in P7. William Talbot gets the move done in the end to take P8 from Ramo. Ramo takes P9, and then Basic and Remix fighting it on the final lap for the final points position. But Basic is carrying a 3-second time penalty. It looks like Remix, even without making this overtake, should get the position here and take the points. So, yeah, Basic is going to come home in P11. Remix will take that final points position. P10 for him. But big congratulations to Micromash. And let me just have a quick look at the championship. It was... yeah, I think it is championship 1 for Tyrant. Even though Gibbo will close that gap, I don't think it's going to be by enough. In the end, it is going to be Tyrant, your Season 3 Wicked Wednesday champion. Congratulations to him. Had a good string of races in the early part of the season. A few contenders tried to challenge him in the second half, but nobody was able to come close enough. In the end, Micromash, though, coming out on top here in Jeddah. Nice race from him, making his way through all the chaos. 3 stop from him. Yeah, sorry, I looked at the grid. I thought he did a 4 stop, and then I saw Tyrant. I was like, he didn't do a 15 stop. But yeah. 2-3 in the AlphaTauri. Gibbo and Tyrant picking up a nice haul of points. Jack comes home in P5 with the 10 points. Nice result from BPA as well in the Haas, picking up 12. But yeah, definitely helped by a lot of carnage in that race to get those good results. Jack was down in, I think, P12 on one of the restarts. But yeah, in the end, as always, Jeddah brings chaos. And in the end, Micromash comes out on top. Good result from him. Let's see. So, yeah, let's head... what do I want to do? I want to hit that one, I want to hit that one, and I want to hit that one. Right, let's head over to the interview room. There we go. And... let's go... for Tyrant first. I mean, yeah, he's won the championship. A really nice effort from him. Let's see what he has to say. Hello, Tyrant. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, I mean, chaotic race. I mean, yeah, let's start with the big thing. Drivers champion. Very good job.
Thank you.
So that race, lots of chaos. What happened with you in qualifying?
I lost the rear through turn 2 on the first lap. It's like, okay, I'll go again. Then I got blocked because 2 cars, I think, crashed through turn 4. And then they were just in the middle of the track, so I had to abort the lap. And then it rained.
And yeah, unfortunately out in Q1. But yeah, had a bit of a fight through lap 1 incident. Tell us what happened from your POV there with Asteroid.
He dove down the inside, I hung it around the outside, and he just squeezed me into the wall. Just thought I wasn't there, but I was still alongside.
Yeah, so yeah, that wasn't a great start to the race. But there was a lot of chaos. I think you were behind quite a few of those incidents as well. Must have been quite scary watching those crashes unfold.
There was the big one through like the slingshot corner going on to the second DRS straight with Finn and Will. I was behind that. And then I was involved in the big one at turn 4.
Yeah, well, in the end, you managed to survive those. Pulled the strategy off. I mean, I think the strategy was relatively straightforward, at least at the end, going for those soft compound tires. And you managed to come through in the end and secure the P3 after that chaos on that final restart.
Yeah, I have to say, like Gibbo as well. It's been a great fight all season, considering it's 2 AlphaTauris fighting for the title. Second season in a row as well that's happened. It's good to see, how we can keep it at the front, even in a really awful car.
Well, I mean, you're always
I
going to have 2 AlphaTauris fighting for the championship because they're the top 2 in the championship.
I mean, Jack. I mean, what I mean by that is, like, we've been consistently AlphaTauri.
Yeah. But yeah, really good result this race, managing to come through. I think from 16th, I think it was on the grid, 15th, something like that.
15th guys were removed.
Yeah, and then up to P3. So yeah, really nice result. And yeah, decent haul of points. But yeah, the Drivers' Championship is secured. So got to be happy with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right then. So yeah, congratulations. And yeah, have a good one. Okay, so let's get Gibbo next, I think. Yes, he said can do. Hello, Gibbo, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. P2 for you. Unfortunately, unable to hold off the championship fight from Tyrant in the end. He just got the better of you. But still, P2 must be a very nice result here, especially given the chaos.
Yeah, it were a nice result today. I didn't think I was going to be anywhere near there on such a sort of like speed thing track in that car. It were always going to be hard, but yeah, I think everyone else just sort of handed us it. I have no idea what was going on in that race.
So you just kind of managed to avoid the incidents, I guess. Weren't really involved anywhere near them.
I were a little bit involved in one but I think we all kept it clean in the one that I were involved in. But yeah, just kept on like going around corners and there were just people spun. I don't know what happened with what's his name who were leading all the way around. That sent mad. It sent to go sideways into the wall.
And then on the final lap, you were closing in onto the back of Micromash, but I think that was a bit of a mistake for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you had the possibility to make the move for the win without that one?
If I'd have been close going into the last sector, yeah, I was running really low wings. So that first sector were always tough for me to sort of stay close. So lost it going around that long left-hander. Virtually no grip out of there with wings that I were running. So if I could have kept it close coming out of there, maybe. But I think even that Alpine's a little bit quicker. But fair play to Tyrant. Obviously going out in Q1 and then somehow coming back to finish third. Like he said, sort of second what he was saying. I don't know how we kept on sort of getting decent finishes in that car all season. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, well, yeah, congratulations. I think you extend your lead over P3 in the championship now as well. So looking like you should be able to secure the P2 here. So still a decent takeaway from this season.
Cheers, chocolate.
No problem. And let me just see. We just quickly wait and see if we get a response from Micromash. Not too sure. Cool. Right then. Let's drag him in. Hello, Micromash. Can you hear me?
Hello.
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 P1 for you. Maybe not the result you were expecting coming into this race. Tell us a little bit about it.
I had good pace at the start. I was keeping up well with the guys in front of me. And then the first safety car came out. I made a sort of, well, actually turned out to be a good decision. I thought it was an error at the time. I went on to mediums again. I meant to go on to hards. But then another safety car came out late, which helped me out. And then a few people crashed in front of me as well, which helped a lot.
Were you ever a little bit worried with those guys battling and eventually crashing in front of you that you might get collected? Or did you feel quite comfortable?
Oh, it was always a concern, obviously, if they crash. There's no ghosting and stuff, so obviously it's always something you worry about. But I was hoping, part of me, was that I was hoping for a good little battle at the end.
But yeah, in the end, it was you and Gibbo heading onto the last lap, I think separated by 0.8 of a second. Gibbo made a small mistake in Sector 2. Without that mistake, do you think you would have been able to hold him off? Or did you have battery saved up for that?
I think entering the last lap, I had about 60% battery, so I think I probably would have held him off. Jeddah, I'm quite strong at as well.
All right.
There was no DRS either, so yeah, I was fairly confident. And then I saw he made a mistake, so I knew I just had to bring it in.
So yeah, coming home with the race win, nice result from you. That will push you up the championship order a bit. Heading into the last race of the season, which will be... Where's the calendar? Which will be in Bahrain. How do you do there? Do you think you can have another good result?
Yeah, Bahrain's quite a strong track for me, so I'm expecting a good result there. Depends what car I get, I suppose, but I did quite well in the Alpine today, so...
All right, then. Best of luck next time out. Hopefully another good result heading your way.
Yeah, thank you, man.
No problem. All right, then. So that is going to be it from me. Chaotic race at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. In the end, Micromash able to come out on top, but it is Tyrant who takes the crown. Very good job from him. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Division 1 tomorrow, which will be at Melbourne. So yeah, I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.